What makes someone truly high value? Most people immediately think of money, expensive cars, designer clothes, or social status. Society has taught us to believe that value can be measured by what someone owns. But psychology tells a completely different story. Think about the people you naturally respect the most. They aren't always the richest person in the room. They aren't always the loudest. In fact, many of them barely speak unless they have something meaningful to say. Yet when they do speak, everyone listens. Why? Because real value is not communicated through possessions. It is communicated through behavior. Psychologists have studied first impressions for decades, and one pattern appears over and over again. Within seconds of meeting someone, your brain unconsciously evaluates confidence, competence, emotional stability, and trustworthiness. Long before anyone knows your income, your job title, or your achievements, they have already formed an opinion about you. This happens because the human brain is constantly searching for signals. Are you comfortable with yourself? Do you remain calm under pressure? Do you make thoughtful decisions? Or are you constantly seeking approval from others? High-value people understand that every action sends a message. The way you respond to criticism, the way you carry yourself when nobody is watching, the way you treat people who have nothing to offer you. These small moments reveal far more about your character than expensive possessions ever could. Ironically, the people who desperately try to appear successful often create the opposite impression. They speak too much. They exaggerate their achievements. They constantly look for validation. Psychologists call this status signaling. When people feel insecure, they often compensate by displaying symbols of success instead of developing the qualities that naturally earn respect. High-value people don't need to convince anyone. Their confidence comes from competence. Their discipline creates consistency. Their integrity builds trust. And over time, these qualities become impossible to fake. Imagine walking into a room where one person is trying to impress everyone, while another quietly observes, speaks with intention, and never seems rushed. Most people instinctively pay attention to the second person, not because they demanded attention, but because they projected certainty. And certainty is one of the strongest psychological signals of confidence. This is why becoming high value has very little to do with changing your appearance. It begins by changing your habits, your standards, and the way you think. Because true value is never something you wear. It's something people feel. The moment you enter the room, most people spend their lives chasing something they can never keep. Approval. They want to be liked by everyone. They adjust their opinions to fit the room. They avoid conflict. They constantly worry about what other people think. At first, this seems harmless. After all, everyone wants to be accepted. But psychology reveals something surprising. The more you depend on external validation, the less valuable you appear. This phenomenon is closely related to what psychologists call an external locus of control. People with an external locus of control allow their confidence to rise and fall based on the opinions of others. A compliment makes them feel worthy. Criticism destroys their confidence. Their emotional state becomes controlled by the people around them. High-value individuals operate differently. Their standards come from within. They don't need strangers to tell them who they are. They already know. This creates a quiet confidence that cannot be manufactured. Think about the people you admire most. Do they constantly explain themselves? Do they seek permission before making decisions? Do they change their personality depending on who they're talking to? Probably not, because certainty attracts respect. Neediness destroys it. People instinctively trust those who trust themselves. This doesn't mean becoming arrogant. In fact, arrogance is often nothing more than insecurity wearing an expensive suit. True confidence is quiet. It doesn't compete. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't need to win every argument. Instead, it focuses on something much more important: self-respect. When you respect yourself, you naturally stop tolerating disrespect from others. You stop chasing people who don't value you. You stop explaining every decision you make, and something remarkable begins to happen. People start respecting you more, not because you demanded it, but because your behavior communicates something powerful. You are no longer trying to earn your value. You already believe you have it, and people can feel the difference almost immediately. One of the clearest signs of a high-value person is that they never feel the need to prove themselves. This may sound simple, but in everyday life, it's surprisingly rare. Most people spend an incredible amount of energy trying to convince others that they are intelligent, successful, or important. They interrupt conversations to share their achievements. They exaggerate their experiences. They constantly seek recognition. But the people who possess genuine confidence behave very differently. They understand a simple psychological principle. Competence speaks louder than self-promotion. Research in social psychology shows that people are more likely to trust those who demonstrate their abilities naturally, rather than constantly talking about them. This is known as the principle of earned credibility. The more someone tries to force an impression, the less authentic they appear. High-value people don't rush to correct every misunderstanding. They don't argue with every critic. They don't waste time defending themselves against opinions that don't matter. Instead, they let their actions speak. Imagine two people starting a new job. The first person immediately tells everyone how experienced they are. The second person says very little. They simply work hard. They stay consistent. They solve problems. A few months later, who earns more respect? Almost always the second person, because people remember results, not promises. This mindset also changes the way high-value people deal with failure. They don't make excuses. They don't blame other people. They ask a different question. What can I learn from this? Every mistake becomes information. Every setback becomes training. This attitude creates continuous improvement, and over time, small improvements become extraordinary results. The truth is, you never have to announce your value. If it's real, people will discover it on their own. There is another habit that separates high-value people from everyone else. They think long-term. While most people make decisions based on how they feel today, high-value individuals make decisions based on who they want to become years from now. This is one of the biggest psychological differences between successful and unsuccessful people. Most people choose immediate comfort. They spend money they haven't earned. They procrastinate because tomorrow feels far away. They sacrifice long-term progress for short-term pleasure. But high-value people understand something most people ignore. Every small decision is a vote for the person you are becoming. Reading one chapter of a book may not change your life today. Going to the gym once won't transform your body overnight. Saving a small amount of money won't make you wealthy tomorrow, but repeated over months and years. These small actions completely reshape your future. Psychologists call this delayed gratification. One of the most famous studies ever conducted was the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment. Researchers gave children a simple choice: eat one marshmallow immediately, or wait a little longer and receive two instead. Years later, the children who were able to delay gratification often performed better in school, developed stronger self-control, and achieved better long-term outcomes. The lesson wasn't really about marshmallows. It was about mastering impulses. High-value people don't ask, "What feels good right now?" They ask, "What will benefit me 5 years from now?" This way of thinking changes everything. It changes how you spend your money, how you spend your evenings, how you choose your friends, even how you respond to difficult situations. Instead of reacting emotionally, they pause, they think, and they choose the option that serves their future rather than their emotions. This is why discipline often looks boring from the outside. It consists of small decisions that nobody notices, until one day, everyone notices the results. High-value people understand that success is rarely built through dramatic moments. It is built through ordinary decisions, repeated with extraordinary consistency. And that is exactly what separates temporary motivation from lasting transformation. One of the most overlooked traits of high-value people is that they are extremely selective about their environment. Most people believe success is a matter of willpower, but psychology suggests something different. Human behavior is heavily influenced by the people, places, and routines we surround ourselves with every day. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is constantly shaping your decisions. If the people around you complain, you'll begin to see problems everywhere. If they avoid responsibility, you'll slowly lower your own standards. If they waste their time, you'll eventually do the same. This happens because the human brain naturally adapts to what it experiences most often. Psychologists call this social conditioning. Over time, the habits of your environment quietly become your own habits. High-value people understand this. That's why they carefully choose who they spend time with. Not because they believe they're better than anyone else, but because they know that influence is contagious. The same principle applies to your physical environment. A cluttered workspace often creates a cluttered mind. A phone filled with endless distractions makes deep focus almost impossible. A chaotic lifestyle leads to chaotic thinking. Instead of relying on motivation, high-value people design environments that make good decisions easier. They remove distractions before they become temptations. They create routines that support their goals. They surround themselves with books, ideas, people, and conversations that push them forward. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means becoming intentional. Every person you spend time with, every habit you repeat, and every environment you enter is slowly shaping the person you will become. High-value people never leave that process to chance. They build an environment that naturally pulls them toward the future they want, because they understand one simple truth. Your future is rarely determined by a single decision. It is determined by the environment that influences thousands of small decisions every single day. One of the most overlooked traits of high-value people is that they are extremely selective about their environment. Most people believe success is a matter of willpower, but psychology suggests something different. Human behavior is heavily influenced by the people, places, and routines we surround ourselves with every day. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is constantly shaping your decisions. If the people around you complain, you'll begin to see problems everywhere. If they avoid responsibility, you'll slowly lower your own standards. If they waste their time, you'll eventually do the same. This happens because the human brain naturally adapts to what it experiences most often. Psychologists call this social conditioning. Over time, the habits of your environment quietly become your own habits. High-value people understand this. That's why they carefully choose who they spend time with. Not because they believe they're better than anyone else, but because they know that influence is contagious. The same principle applies to your physical environment. A cluttered workspace often creates a cluttered mind. A phone filled with endless distractions makes deep focus almost impossible. A chaotic lifestyle leads to chaotic thinking. Instead of relying on motivation, high-value people design environments that make good decisions easier. They remove distractions before they become temptations. They create routines that support their goals. They surround themselves with books, ideas, people, and conversations that push them forward. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means becoming intentional. Every person you spend time with, every habit you repeat, and every environment you enter is slowly shaping the person you will become. High-value people never leave that process to chance. They build an environment that naturally pulls them toward the future they want, because they understand one simple truth. Your future is rarely determined by a single decision. It is determined by the environment that influences thousands of small decisions every single day. One of the most overlooked traits of high-value people is that they are extremely selective about their environment. Most people believe success is a matter of willpower, but psychology suggests something different. Human behavior is heavily influenced by the people, places, and routines we surround ourselves with every day. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is constantly shaping your decisions. If the people around you complain, you'll begin to see problems everywhere. If they avoid responsibility, you'll slowly lower your own standards. If they waste their time, you'll eventually do the same. This happens because the human brain naturally adapts to what it experiences most often. Psychologists call this social conditioning. Over time, the habits of your environment quietly become your own habits. High-value people understand this. That's why they carefully choose who they spend time with. Not because they believe they're better than anyone else, but because they know that influence is contagious. The same principle applies to your physical environment. A cluttered workspace often creates a cluttered mind. A phone filled with endless distractions makes deep focus almost impossible. A chaotic lifestyle leads to chaotic thinking. Instead of relying on motivation, high-value people design environments that make good decisions easier. They remove distractions before they become temptations. They create routines that support their goals. They surround themselves with books, ideas, people, and conversations that push them forward. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means becoming intentional. Every person you spend time with, every habit you repeat, and every environment you enter is slowly shaping the person you will become. High-value people never leave that process to chance. They build an environment that naturally pulls them toward the future they want, because they understand one simple truth. Your future is rarely determined by a single decision. It is determined by the environment that influences thousands of small decisions every single day.